Hello everyone. If you're like me, you've spent way too much of your life wasting money on Hearthstone, and as such, you've become well acquainted with that game. Now, me personally, I started playing in 2014 in high school, and ever since then I've hated myself. But I, on the bright side, know a lot about this game and a lot about the classes of Hearthstone, which is why I'm proud to present to you what your Hearthstone main class says about you. Now, this isn't for everyone. Me personally, I have all the original 9 classes golden, and I've, interspersed my talents all throughout the game. But this is for the people that they hop on every day and they play the same class and they love it. They love it. They're sick. They just sick in the head. They just can't get enough of it. This is for people like you. Now, this original tier list, I'm not going to say this because I don't speak Spanish, but this was originally this tier list. I did not make this. This was made by Gabriel Amor. Uh, and yeah, but I rebranded it because I didn't want to go snip all this stuff. And yeah, but so thanks to him, if it's him, for making this tier list. And let's get right into it. So, if the top one, perfect person. If you play this class all the time, you're a good person. I put respect on you. Probably a chill ass person. Next is lovable person. You're cool. Like if you play only this kind of class, you're a respectable person. We'd hang out. Z is you're kind of boring. Like I get it, but it's nothing exciting. Um, Next is like worse than my ex, which if you play this all the time, I would rather hang out with my ex than you. So yeah, take that personally. And then a special place in hell, which you will find out what goes there later. Alright, so start with Demon Hunter. So if you're a Demon Hunter main in 2023, that means you probably started during Ashes of Outland. You like the power trip you got from having a broken class right from the get-go, and then you've kind of been rocking with it ever since. Either that, or you were like a Shaman main standard for years and years, and got tired of a lot of times having a low power level, and you finally got the taste of something being busted and couldn't let that go. I think Demon Hunter players are probably a Z. I don't think they're like bad people. I think they just got one taste of power and couldn't let it go. But I don't think that means that they're a bad person. I just think it means that they're boring. A druid player. Now, I would rather take my ex and a druid player all day because they're like a demon hunter, except they've been doing it the whole fucking time. So, druid is historically known for just being an absolute bullshit class with busted shit in every expansion since the dawn of time, and it is so annoying because I swear, no matter what they do, token, ramp, whatever the shit with Guff was, anything they've ever done is annoying. And if you have the ability to play this class day in and day out and not hate yourself, I don't understand that. I think you're a bad person. Now, Hunter, and I have a little bias here, because this is my only 1001 character. I think you're a perfect person. I think hunters can be really chill. Now, I will say it depends on what type of hunter you're playing. If you just, log in after your 9 to 5, eyes drooping, fucking exhausted, and you're like, you know what sounds like a good relaxing day to me? And then you just queue up your Undertaker hunter and wild, and you're like, and you just feel like the fucking man. That's, you don't belong here. That's probably a Z. If you just queue up aggro hunter constantly, but like people who played things like big hunters and Reno hunters and stuff like that, perfect. A lot of respect there. I think that's a chill ass class to play. Hunter's cool. You can't hate on hunter players unless they're doing some degenerate aggro shit. I am super high on hunters. Now, fucking Death Knight players, it's like Demon Hunter, right? You just started the game probably. You're like, whoa, I can buy this whole class for like $20, and you play it, and you're like, whoa, it's busted. I'm so good at the game, and then you just didn't start. You just didn't play anything else. Nothing exciting, I would say, but yeah, it's just Demon Hunter rebranded. It's like you're new to the game, probably. You like being powerful, and yeah, or maybe you've run through all the other classes and you finally, just collecting golden portraits. But either way, I think it's a little boring. Now, Mage is tough because there's two kinds of mage players. There's cool mage players like myself who play freeze mage and quest mage, which might be a little controversial. And then there's other mage players who solely rely on the fact that they can roll RNG to win their games. And I say fuck those mage players. I hate that. I hate that every game you're trying to discover your win conditions instead of just having them in your deck. It always feels like shit when a mage discovers the perfect out and you're like, that was fun. And then you uninstall the game only to come crawling back like a dad going for milk. Anyways, because of that, I gotta put it probably worse than my ex because I think the bad mage mains are really bad. Like really bad. Just discover mage and oh my god, deck of lunacy. Like anyone who was like in love with deck of lunacy, I hate you. Worse than my ex. Paladin's just boring. I think Paladin like can be fun as a class, but it's just like every time I play it, I don't feel like anything super exciting is going on. And if you play that day in day out, you're probably an accountant. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I can't hate you, but I can't love you because Paladin's just kind of there, you know. And then the least surprising place of this tier list is Priest goes right here. If you've been a Priest player on and off, just year in, year out, grinding Priest, won't touch any other class, you're a terrible person, objectively. Like, just a bad person. Priest is the most degenerate class. It's like if there was a measure of how much fun your opponent is having when you're playing priest, it's got to be the lowest of any class. It's got the same mage problem of discovering your win conditions, which always feels terrible. I hate that they can just discover OP removal all the time. It's not fun to play against. Like, it's just very few priest decks that are fun to play. And it's just, I saw a guy on Reddit the other day that had like 16,000 priest wins and not even 500 in any other class, and I just actually made me cry and cringe. It was terrible. Actually awful. I hate that class. I'm gonna give Rogue a lovable person. I think Rogue players can be pretty chill. I think Rogue does a lot of cool stuff. I think Rogue players can also be kind of toxic, which is why I'm not rating them perfect. A lot of emote spam kind of stuff. But I think for the most part, Rogue players are chill. You like your Shadow Steps, you like, Abyss and stuff. Like Miracle Rogue can be annoying, but at the same time, it's kind of neat. Do a lot of stuff in a turn, play a lot of cards. Yeah, I think yeah, like Rogues are pretty lovable. I gotta give the pass to Shaman with the caveat that you're not just constantly playing like even Shaman and Wild. It haven't been because that deck's been like tier one and Wild for the last 3-4 years or however long, like since Gen's been out. Um, yeah, I think because like Shaman players, you've had to put up with a lot in Standard, and I think Shaman can do a lot of cool, fun things. I just like the class in general. I think Overload is like a cool mechanic that could be better utilized. And yeah, Shaman gets a pass. You gotta be chill to like put up with Shaman for years. But again, if you're playing like even Shaman and Wild, and that's all you've been doing, I mean, that might be worse than my ex. Like that's tough. I think Warlock is another lovable one. Even like Zoo players can be really chill. I mean, Zoo does, take a lot of skill, at least it did in the day. Because you got to think about your trades, you got to think about your resource management. If you play Disco, you're a piece of shit. But I think like any like Reno Lock stuff like that, even Zoo, I think is the less degenerate, like pretty aggressive deck. The only thing is discard. Like if you're playing discard, you're a bad person. But everything else I think is pretty lovable. Maybe Q Block's pretty bad, but yeah, that's just my take. And then Warrior, I gotta give Warrior a perfect person as well. I think Warrior, if you've been playing Warrior consistently for years, you've had some good ups, you've had some good downs. It means you like control, which is respectable, but then you've also adapted your playstyle. You've played some aggro, which Pirate Warrior is kind of a degenerate deck, but it is what it is. And then other stuff like the most recent like Menagerie Warrior stuff like that. I can put a lot of respect on that. So yeah, that is my final Hearthstone. What your favorite class says about you as a person tier list. Cheers to all of you, unless you're a priest player. Other than that, yeah, take care, and I'll see you in the next lifetime. And if I'm not, just know that I got canceled and that my search history was not cleared. Cheers.